I'm still waiting for the fun, Real Housewives of New York ladies. We're in Anguilla. This is what, our third episode of you guys being in Anguilla? I'm still waiting for the fun. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's missing. And you know, I've been an advocate for this new reboot of Real Housewives of New York. However, I love my RHONY trips. I'm not loving this RHONY trip, and it's not because of. It might be. Look. We talked about we're tired of the toxicity. We're tired of the going below the belt drama, and I'm not asking for that. But these petty little dramas. Now we're fighting about a phone. I don't know, y'all. They're losing me. Luckily, the new season of The Real Housewives of New York is almost over. They just filmed their reunion. So let's talk about the seating chart. Let's talk about this latest episode. If you're in the live chat, be sure to like this video. Be sure to let me know where you're watching from. And if you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let me know how you would rate this episode of The Real Housewives of New York and your thoughts on the episode. And if you feel like I feel about what's going on in Anguilla. Wasn't last week's episode called Nothing Vanilla in Anguilla? This trip is giving very vanilla. And this episode is called like Naughty-ical. I can't. Let's get into this countdown, y'all.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer. Just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lady. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. I just had a big yawn, and now I can't stop my eyes from watering. It is what it is. Shout out to all of you that are in the live chat. Shout out to our subscribers. Shout out to our channel members. To become a channel member, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. And we had a really great Kempire Radio live podcast recording for members only over the week. Well, Friday, what was it? Friday night we did that? Or Friday evening we did that? It was a great time. We had callers. Shout out to all of our members. Keep in mind, now, only our senior royals have full access to the full edit. The edited version will be available later, some point this week, on the Kempire Radio podcast. If you haven't subscribed to the Kempire Radio podcast, what are you doing? And don't forget to rate and review us. All right, let's talk about the Real Housewives of New York. Oh, wait, before I move on, and shout out to our King's Guards holding us down in the live chat. We appreciate them as well. All right, let's get into this seating chart. If I can find it. All right, there we go. Hold on. So the Real Housewives of New York filmed their reunion. When did they film it? They filmed it. Oh, I guess I can keep it like this. They filmed it last Thursday. They filmed the Real Housewives of New York reunion last Thursday here in New York. And this has been a new thing because apparently the fans are very obsessed with the seating. We've said the seating doesn't really mean anything, but you may recall when Kenya was on Carlos King's podcast, she said, no, we all know the reunion seating is important. It shows the power that you hold, whoever sits next to Andy Cohen. And it's not just about who had the most drama. I do believe that plays a part. Like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I feel like Drew sat next to Andy, not because she's in a power position, but because she had a lot of drama that they wanted to focus on for the reunion. So a lot of people were like, wow, look at Jessel sitting next to Andy in her first reunion. I wasn't shocked by Erin. We've said countless times that I believe Erin will be sitting next to Andy. She's a common denominator, especially in this episode, of beef with everybody. She's had beef with almost everybody. She's had beef with everybody. Well, no, she even had beef with Jenna Lyons, telling on Jenna about her not wanting to fly coach. I was shocked, though, that Jenna Lyons was not sitting next to Annie Cohen. Although she hasn't had, a lot of drama this season, I just thought, very much like a Nene or, just certain people, if you're coming into this position, especially it's a reboot, it's not like you're coming into the old cast of Real Housewives of New York. Jenna Lyons, y'all have her in the, what seat is this? The second seat? I thought that was interesting. I thought without a doubt Jenna Lyons was going to sit next to Andy just as a power position because of her influence in fashion and in New York. But apparently, no. The power position was given to Jessel and Erin. And I don't think it means anything in regards to a power position because I don't believe any of these ladies have any real power on the show. But I do believe that these two, Jessel and Erin, had a lot going on this season and had a lot going on between each other, especially this season and especially in this last episode. All right. So let's get into what was going on in this episode. At the top of this episode, okay, we have Erin and Brynn discussing Jessel. So apparently something happened the night before. We didn't get to see what happened the night before. We ended last week's episode with Brynn saying that she's not going to go hang out with the ladies. We didn't see their hangout. But apparently Erin and Sai are just so upset with Jessel and her stories. They feel like Jessel doesn't tell a complete story or she exaggerates. They don't believe that she grew up poor. Here's the thing. I do believe Jessel isn't 100% honest because we have seen for ourselves when she says she didn't have help. She literally was saying that she didn't have help from her mom when her mom was here. And we literally saw her mom helping her. Maybe it's not the help that Jessel wants, but I also think that the way that Jessel carries herself, the way that Jessel speaks, makes people think that she has a lot more than maybe she really has. And everyone's experience of not having is very different. Sai grew up one particular way, not having anything and a lot less than some other people. But I'm sure there are other people that look at Sai and like, I grew up a lot more less than that. You knew your mama? You know what I mean? So comparing those stories, I feel like Erin and Sai are getting a little annoying. Not a little. They're getting annoying with always trying to come for the ladies in different ways. Sai is always asking, oh, Jenna, share more, do me. Yet not everyone is willing to share their story as openly and as freely as you, Sai. And there's nothing wrong with that. We appreciate that. But you also have to appreciate and respect that not everyone wants to do the same. I can understand what Jessel, it feels as if Jessel is all over the place when she tells her story. But I agree with Uba. Uba for me was like the narrator of this episode until she wasn't, until she was the focus of the episode. Because she seems like the one with the common sense. And she's like, your family is a part of your story. So if she's talking about her family, because according to Sai and Erin, we asked about you and you told us about how your parents came from Kenya. And when she originally said this last week, I was thinking to myself like, well, her parents are an extension of her. That's part of her roots. So I'm just like, I don't see the problem. What do you guys want from Jessel? I don't think Jessel's perfect. And I said countless times, Jessel, don't change. Don't change because of what the audience is saying. Don't change what these ladies are saying to you. Speaking of the reunion, based off the clips that I've seen, it looks as if there was a lot of crying in this reunion, a lot of emotion going on. Here's the thing. All that is wonderful for your healing. But this is a reality show. This is a show of entertainment. I'm not sure if that is going to be a good thing or interesting for the audience, especially because I don't feel like the audience is invested enough to connect and appreciate the vulnerability that these ladies will be showing during the reunion. I think they'll be like, oh, okay. But by the end of it, they're going to be like, oh, this season was not great. Like, we're ending on this note where people are just bawling in tears and it feels like therapy. No, that's not what people want, especially now because they don't have their break from the real world because there's the writer strike and the actor strike, and now the talk shows are not coming back for now. They need a break from therapy. They go to their therapist for therapy. So I'm not sure. We haven't seen the reunion yet, but just based off of saying that there were a lot of tears, a lot of breakthroughs, I was just like, I'm not sure, especially when we are on a trip. And I was like, okay, this is our very first cast trip. And I'm just like, this doesn't seem fun. To be honest with you, you guys love to say that Real Housewives of Dubai was boring, but I feel like their cast trip was a lot more fun than this. Am I wrong? Live chat. Am I wrong? Replay crew. Am I wrong?
Am I wrong?
I don't know. Like, I'm watching the episode and I'm just like, I'm just looking, I was like, is it over yet? Is it over yet? I'm going to keep it real with you guys because I told you in the beginning, I love the show. I feel like everyone has a fun personality. I'm enjoying it. But based on what we're getting these last couple of episodes, I'm starting to get a little bored. When we are on a cast trip and I shouldn't be getting bored. And I'm not sure where they went wrong in putting this together, but I'm getting a little bored. But we'll continue. Guys, if you're just joining us, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And speaking of supporting the channel, how about you support your thirst? I'm a little thirsty right now. Codis has joined us again and is a proud sponsor of the channel. Head on over to codis.com, but don't forget to use the discount code KEMPIRE10 for 10% off of your order. That's Kempire 10 for 10% off of your order. More information will be available in the description of this episode. Okay. So Erin and Brynn discuss Jessel and all of that from they catch up for what happened the night before. And they kept on saying that Jessel claims that her family didn't help her. She said that she lived with her uncle here in New York. Her family did not approve of her moving to New York, but she lived with her uncle for 2 years and she struggled and she only had like $20 in her bank account. We will revisit that. Uba and Jessel are sharing a room. So apparently Jessel doesn't believe that she snores. And you really won't know if you snore or not unless someone's sleeping with you. So Uba records Jessel snoring and shares it with the group. Something to remember. Something to remember. Here's the thing. I'm not someone that snores regularly. However, there have been times where I have snored because maybe, and doctors will probably explain this better, but there are some times where you're extremely tired that you will end up snoring. And there are some people that just consistently snore every time they go to sleep. I don't know if that's Jessel's situation, but I'm going to, and I know people are like, why, why is she trying to, deny that she's snoring? Because I don't think people find that attractive that you snore and maybe keep up your partner at night. And then when you have one of the people that you're sharing a bedroom with, playing it for the group, almost embarrassingly. I'm just saying. I wouldn't like that if I was sharing a room with you and you recorded me while I was sleeping and then you shared it with the group. Uba. Just keep that in mind when we get towards the end of this episode. All right. So Sai hosts the ladies on this boat because she's like, of course I'm going to do a trip and we're going to have a boat. I only do luxury. We know this is Sai's new money, so Sai wants to do all the things. We know Sai didn't pay for this at all. However, Sai, so far, is able to host a good trip. Okay? All right. So the ladies are in their bathing suits, and we have a Heather Dubrow moment with Jenna Lyons, and Jenna Lyons puts on this sort of scuba outfit, but she looks good in it, though. To be honest, she looks good in the scuba outfit. But people are like, why are you wearing a scuba outfit? Well, she has skin stuff, too. Like, if you have skin issues, she also doesn't want to show skin. She showed us a little bit of her skin last week. She's very insecure about it. Leave Jenna alone in her skin. If she's uncomfortable, let her be uncomfortable. Okay? Well, let her be comfortable with her decision to wear the scuba outfit. Okay? All right. Jessel tells Brynn how Erin and Sai came at her the night before. And Uba, again, it's just like, I don't understand why they don't understand that everyone's experience is different. You might not like her story and you might feel like her bringing up her family shouldn't be a part of her story. But she's like, that's a part of her story. Your family is an extension of you. That's a part of who you are. You can't take that away. That's everyone's story. We also have throughout this episode some deep flirting between Brynn and Jenna. Here's the thing, Jenna, don't get in your feelings, girl, because I feel like Brynn is one of those girls, one of those straight girls that will flirt and do all the things. She might even sleep with you, but she will always return to being with a man. I feel for her, it's sort of like, I'll try it. I don't believe she's a part of the community. Jenna, unless you just want a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It was cute to see their flirtation throughout the episode. It felt a little put on. You know, they keep saying, Brynn, that you put on a lot. And I don't mind it all the time. But sometimes it's just like, all right, Brynn. All right, sit down. All right. So throughout the episode, we have Brynn flirting with Jenna. All right. So Jessel and Erin and Sai get into it. And then we see Sai get really hot with Jessel. She's just like, be straightforward. I don't believe that you are straightforward with your story. And Jessel's like, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? I think a lot of the audience are probably thinking, Sai, why are you yelling? Why does it bother you so much that these people have not opened up to you? This is not the way for them to open up to you either. They also feel like you're so judgmental. And half of what you're saying is in confessionals, so they don't even realize how judgmental you have been. That should be interesting at the reunion. Jessel calls Erin the queen of assumption. Like, last week when she was assuming that Brynn was lying about the whole eggs freezing clinic situation. And I would agree. Erin, although I defended you over the last couple of episodes, and I do think that you're a good housewife, by the end of this episode, I was like, she's giving me Karen vibes. What is going on over here? Why is she reacting like this with Uba? It's kind of, Uba, you're not innocent either. But at the same time, I'm looking at Erin acting all like, Uba. Y'all notice she hasn't done that with other people. I'll leave that right there. We'll go back. We'll get back. So Jessel calls Erin the queen of assumption. Again, as I said to you before, Sai flips out on Jessel. I don't get where that was coming from. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know why Erin and especially Sai always make it an issue with these ladies. Share more. Open up more. Sai, you have opened up and we appreciate it. But not everyone's going to open up at the same time as you. They have to feel like they're in a safe space. And you yelling at Jessel is not creating a safe space. Just saying. Brynn. So Brynn is giving tips to the group on oral stuff. Here's the thing, Brynn, you're wrong. Speaking as a man, because she says this is universally working for all men. Just act as if that you're choking on it and he will love it. That is a lie. That is a lie. He might be impressed for a hot second, but if you're not doing a good job, Brynn, it's all well and cute, but it's not going to be satisfying. He might be like, oh, for a wham bam, thank you, man. He might be like, oh, yeah. But long term, if you don't know what you're doing down there, especially if you're using teeth, I'm just saying. All the choking on it is not going to be impressive at all. It's not going to be impressive. If anything, it's going to be like, this girl don't know what she's doing. But again, they probably haven't said that to you, so you probably think, oh, they're so impressed. But at the same time, they're probably saying she gives a terrible professional. Just saying. So the table, because this is a reality show, so they're always going to play some sort of game. The table goes around the room and tell their most embarrassing stories. And for me, Brynn probably had the most embarrassing story. Because everyone else's story, for me, was a little lackluster. Oh, no. Sai's story was pretty embarrassing, too, when she sharted on herself in high school. That was pretty embarrassing. She was in in a race. Uba's story, she did say she didn't feel like it was embarrassing where she had toilet paper on her as she exited the bathroom. Not so embarrassing. Jenna's story was pretty embarrassing where she said she was going, first of all, she had to just let us know that she went to this place that was very expensive, even though she said she, at the time, she didn't have the money for that kind of place. And she went. Someone stepped on her jacket and she went. Now that is embarrassing. Falling anytime is embarrassing, except Jessel's story. For me, the lady's reaction to Jessel's story seemed weird because they were like, oh my God, that was so fun. Maybe I missed it. Live chat, replay crew. Was Jessel's story that funny? Where she fell as she was trying to get her friend's attention and her top went up? I mean, I can see that being embarrassing, but the way that they reacted, I was just like, y'all are laughing a little too hard for something I didn't feel it was that funny. For me, Brynn putting the tampon in the wrong hole, I don't believe the story. I don't believe the story, but I do think it's funny. Here's the thing, Brynn. As a gay man, okay, you're not putting anything up that hole. First of all, not even just as a gay man. There are women that will do, experiment with that area too. You're not poking something up that hole so easily. Without like, oh, come on. Let's be real. How did this turn into Kempire After Dark? Oh, no wonder this episode's called Naughty-ical something. I was just like, Brynn, no. So this leads me to believe, like some of you have been saying about Brynn, you feel like Brynn is putting on for the show. And that particular story made me go, and look, not every hole is different. But she's talking about being a kid doing this. I don't know if I believe that, Brynn. I don't know if I believe that at all. I don't. Who else's story? Erin's story definitely was not embarrassing. She's like, Elijah was crying on a flight, blah, blah. And everyone's just like, girl. Erin, I'm sure you have some embarrassing story. Live chat, tell us your most embarrassing story if you're willing to share. Those of you that are in the replay crew, tell us. I want to know, what is your most embarrassing story? I'll tell my most embarrassing story on the podcast. I'll tell my most embarrassing story on the podcast because I already think of it. It involves, okay, maybe I'll tell you a little bit here. It involves texting. I was on a date. Okay, I was on a date. I realized during the date that the person that I was on the date with was actually someone I knew. Wait, no. It was an old coworker's boyfriend's. I don't remember the other person, or I don't know, the side piece, or I don't know. It's something of that nature where this person that I was on a date with was actually like the other person in someone else's, my coworker's relationship. I don't remember how I had pieced it together during this date. And I was just like, wait a minute. So I went to text someone, not my coworker. I think another coworker, like, I'm on a date with blah, 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 blah. And guess who I sent it to? When I was sending the text, this date went to the bathroom. I ended up sending the text not to my coworker. I ended up sending my text to him. Whoo, child. Now that's my most embarrassing story. What's yours? Okay. I've never done that before. Like I've texted the wrong person, but not something like that. It was so embarrassing. Like, not even it was embarrassing because it was like, damn, I didn't want him to know that I knew who he was. And why are you on a date with me if you the other person, someone else's? Anyways, that was deep, wasn't it? Anyways, let's move on. Since it was sharing back, now like that is embarrassing. Everyone else's story here, like Sai's story was probably the best one. Which story you felt like was the best one? Okay. All right. So Uba and Erin have a little bit of a thing this episode because Uba on this trip pranked Erin by pushing her into the pool. I'm always a little squeamish about that, especially as someone that really can't swim that well. I wouldn't appreciate someone pushing me in the pool because I really could probably get hurt. I might freak out kind of thing. So I didn't think about that until Erin made that sort of correlation later in the episode. She was like, what if that bothered me that she pushed me into the water? What if I had an issue with that? So they have a little bit of a thing. So now Uba's, fearful. So it's like, oh, Erin's going to get me back. Erin's going to get me back. And then we have this little interaction with them as they go, they're near the pool. And Erin's just like, let's get it over with. And then Sai comes and then she pushes Uba into the pool. Well, we also have the instance where Uba left her phone in the car, and the guy gives the phone to Erin, but Erin doesn't tell Uba that she has her phone. So Uba, in the middle of the night, is like looking for her phone. It felt like more than 45 minutes, Erin. You said it was only like an hour, but it felt like, based off of this show and the timeline of things, it felt like it was longer than an hour that you kept that phone. And this seems to be the thing that pisses Uba off, because Uba's just like, I have family that are looking for me. I'm international right now, so this is not the time to take someone's phone. I don't feel like this was necessary for this to blow up the way that it blew up. I get where Erin is coming from. I get where Uba is coming from. I wouldn't like if someone took my personal belonging and kept it from me. Would I stay mad at someone or get as angry as Uba did? No. But the way that this situation escalates towards the end of this episode, where Uba's mad at Sai because Sai knew and didn't say anything, and she's storming around the house. Sidebar. Did you guys notice how the chef was looking at Uba? He was like, anything for you. And he was like looking her up, and I was like, it's the side stories for me. Anyways, Uba walked out of there. She only says hello to one person, and then to Brynn, and then she leaves. And then, of course, Erin and Sai are like, Sai's like, what did I do? So as they're leaving to go to something else, this is where we get the final interaction between Uba and Erin, and it escalates. And literally, it didn't need to escalate to this, because Uba really was not just talking about Erin. She wasn't talking about Erin. She was like, well, no, Erin, stepped over. She was standing right here. And Erin's like, you're mentioning my name. Why are you mentioning my name? And first of all, even before that, when Uba came down and she wasn't talking to Erin, Erin, these little things that you were saying, I'm looking at you with the side eye. She's like, because I just don't feel like you say the same things when you're having issues with other people. It's like, oh, Uba's not talking to me. She's scaring me. She's like icing me out. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm just like, you guys let me know in the chat and in the comment section. Because y'all know, y'all love to jump and say like, oh, not everything is right. But it's these microaggressions that I don't think that people realize, that as people of, people that are black, people that are of color, feel that you guys will do sometimes. And we're like, just saying, like, you don't realize what you're doing and how you treat one person different than the other. Because I don't feel like Erin's behavior, like she's so scared of Uba of all of a sudden. I didn't appreciate Uba touching her personal, her glasses, or touching her personal, or being in her personal space. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, Uba. And I do agree with Erin that you don't know if she would have had an issue, or because I would have been annoyed with you too, pushing me into the pool. But also, I feel like this whole phone situation, is it a pre-produced situation? Is the producers in your ear, like, the season's not going well? Because remember, that was a rumor on the street that the season wasn't going well for Real Housewives of New York. Remember? It feels like a reach. And look, we've said this during our recaps of the Real Housewives of New York. We feel like, okay, I don't mind the light, petty drama, but it feels like throughout this entire season, it's been petty. No one likes constant petty drama. At the top of the season, we were fighting about cheese, and now we're fighting about someone taking your phone. for 45 to an hour. To me, it doesn't warrant being mad to this level. If anything, you should be mad more at the behavior that Erin, in this fragility that she's exhibiting towards you, that she hasn't exhibited towards other people. That's what you probably should be mad at. But I've digressed. So, those of you that are here in the live chat and those of you that are a part of the replay crew, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Over the weekend, we had quite a few stories. I didn't realize how invested you guys were in this Jeezy and Jeannie Mai story. Did you guys see the updates that we gave you over the weekend? One of our videos, I think at this point, maybe like 300,000 views over the weekend. I was like, wow. Thank you. So shout out to the new subscribers. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to our new members. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. And for those that don't know, we cover everything in pop culture. I know some people think I'm the Real Housewives guy, I'm a 90 Day Fiance guy, or I'm just a pop culture. We give you a lot here. So be sure to check out everything. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. We're almost at 300,000 subscribers thanks to you. Thank you to our subscribers, our channel members, and of course, thank you to our King's Guards. We could not do this show without them. So thank you to them. Let's get out of here with some music. Oh, wait. How would you rate this episode, live chat? Replay crew, how would you rate this episode from 1 to 10? Well, based on how I was feeling based off of all of this entire episode, annoyed, I'm going to give it a 7, and I might be generous by giving it a 7. I think we only have a few more episodes. This is episode 10. I think we're about to round this out. A couple more episodes. Maybe more than a couple more episodes. Maybe 4 more episodes, and then we're going to get this reunion. We shall see. Let me know how you guys would rate this episode from 1 to 10. Thank you guys so much for the super chats, the Venmos, the Cash Apps. Any way that you're able to support the channel, like getting some merch. There's new merch available. And of course, don't forget to support our sponsor, Codis. Head on over to Codis.com, but don't forget to use the discount code Kempire10 for 10% off. Let's get out of here with some music, guys. I will see you all in the next video. Have a great Monday. Let's get out of here.
I know you feel it in the nighttime, and you've given all your days while they were waiting on the right time. You went and made your wave. I don't need reasons to live. There's no reason to quit, it's all I know. So once again, I'm gone with the summer. Yeah. Gone with the summer. Once again, I'm gone with the summer. They be trying to count us out, we highly endowed. They must not know what's at stake, what we fighting about. This tradition to a wordsmith and missile shooter. I'm my automatic sniper, I bet this'll do ya. I give reason and ether to all the line soldiers. I'm undefeated, my region remains on my shoulders. I've cried nights, that's only because of highlights. I find life in knowing I'm playing mine right. Wicked crimes from them wanna-be crowned. Try to lead me to the deep where I might cunningly drown. At times I thought they got me where they wanted me now. But like the sun, I rise up when I don't wanna be down, and that's I know you feel it in the nighttime, and you've given all your days while they were waiting on the right time. You went and made your wave. I don't need reasons to live. There's no reason to quit, it's all I know. So once again, I'm gone with the summer. Yeah. Gone with the summer. They ain't never been eye to eye with Satan in the broad daylight. Gone left while they all sway right. A true maverick, unbothered by what y'all made right. A naysayer slayer, I'm filleting all daylight. Yeah, we in that upside down, I manage not to sink. They keep our eyes wide shut, I manage not to blink. Another decade or maybe they not faking. Maybe it's more to it, maybe we got taken advantage of. Either way, the damage is done. The bottom feeders get to eat all them glamorous crumbs. Where all them seekers of truth, the speakers of the youth. We come and go with the summers, keep believing in you. I know you feel it in the nighttime, and you've given all your days while they were waiting on the right time. You went and made your wave. I don't need reasons to live. There's no reason to quit, it's all I know. So once again, I'm gone with the summer. Yeah. Gone with the summer. Yeah, yeah. Once again, I'm gone with the summer. I got the fuse, you make a fire. I'll ask you, follow my lead. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.